Welcome to Unbreak Marketing. I've got Josh on here with me, and I just wanted to ask him, first of all, Josh, tell me a little bit about your background. What got you into deciding, hey, I'm going to found a software company to solve the world's problems?
Solve the world's problems. I wish I was solving the world's problems. I'm solving one
One
problem that I
problem at a
think
time.
is important. Yeah. Well, my first job out of college was working at a startup. I was the first employee there, and helped grow it to 165 people. And I saw how much fun that is. It was just me and the two founders at the time, at the start, and it was a really, really good experience. And I realized, you know, that I want to be a founder one day.
Tell us about what got you focused in on this particular problem.
Well, at that company, as the first employee, I kind of found myself jumping between teams and between projects and, you know, just a lot of different, you know, types of projects that I've been working on. And across all of them, there was one thing that really just seemed to be consistent, which is that it's really tough to get people to, really buy into any specific project management tool.
Mm-hmm.
You can ask everybody, hey, let's all put our tasks in Asana, Notion, Trello, Monday, Slack, whatever it is that you're using.
Okay.
But the thing is that Slack was really the only one that people consistently would wake up in the morning and check.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll throw Google Docs as another example there. You might have a
Yeah.
hundred Google Docs with different tasks listed in all of them. And I realized, like, okay, if I'm working across functionally across these different teams, how am I going to force everyone to use the same tool? It's just not possible. It's hard enough to even just do it on one team. I found myself just constantly chasing people down to like follow up on tasks that were forgotten because, of course, no one's waking up in the morning and checking on Asana. That's kind of what inspired me. Like, hey, I feel like this problem needs solving. It exists in so many different companies, and I realized that more and more as I started working across different companies.
You're absolutely correct, Josh. That problem does need solving in a big way. I know that from my own experience as well. So tell us, how could somebody tell that this is a problem at their organization that's broken?
Yeah, so there's kind of two ways it often presents itself. One is that your team is spending way too much time using one of these tools, context switching between different tools and filling out tasks and then updating them when they're complete, or maybe even like having check-in meetings once a week just to ask everybody like, hey, what's the status of this? And then to get everyone to go and
Mm-hmm.
update it over there. Or the alternative is that things actually aren't tracked anywhere. And maybe you're having those check-in meetings, but everybody just goes and writes it down on their own personal to-do list. And you don't have that kind of consolidated source of truth where everybody can look to see here's what's going on with this thing. And so that's how you can tell. It really often comes up the most with cross-functional teams, especially if you're working across multiple teams, because then, good luck getting everyone to use the same tool.
So, what do you think this costs the average team?
So the costs are intangible, but they're big, and there's a few of them. The first is time. People are going to spend unnecessary time doing things that they shouldn't really be doing. You want people to do the thing that you're paying them for, which is the specific, expertise they're bringing. You want them to use that expertise, not filling out tasks somewhere and keeping up, lists updated in different places. Or maybe they're spending time following up with their coworkers. Maybe you're spending time following up with your coworkers, asking what the latest is to get the status of things. It's just an inefficient way for things to run, so people's time's being wasted. The other thing is that without this, without a source of truth, it's hard to really get accountability on your team. And so work will sometimes get left incomplete, and then deadlines will be missed. And that can have costs that show up in just projects being delayed, maybe projects not being executed to the maximum possible extent they could be. And lastly, you'll see people running into fatigue with managing so many different tools. And when you have so many different tools to juggle, you end up not really giving any of them your proper attention. And that can show up in a whole bunch of different places. And I'm going to throw on one bonus cost, which is morale. People don't like being project managers when that's not their, job title. They want to do the thing you hired them for, not to keep track of tasks.
Even for the PMPs out there who that really is their study, it's difficult to get everyone to get on board on some tool. So yeah, there's definitely a time cost. There's missed tasks in there.
What I actually add there for PMP is what they often end up doing is just being professional chasers, following up with people, just chasing down their coworkers, and that becomes their job. And to be honest, that's also not even what they love
Hmm.
to do. It's what the job ends up becoming. But it's unfortunate because, they want to be working on the roadmap for projects and thinking long term strategically, making maybe awesome visualizations of how projects are going to play out, and adding value, not just chasing people down. But if your team doesn't even have a PMP that's designated, that means that you're the
That's right.
PMP or someone on the team's the
That's
PMP.
right. Why is this worth fixing?
Yeah, so I mean, first of all, of course, you just don't want those costs that we were just talking about. You want to get rid of those things if you can. But I think the key thing here to understand is just how insanely easy it is to fix. So we built a tool that works right inside of Slack. It's called Chaser, and you can install it in your Slack org in a click, and then no one else needs to create an account, needs to do anything. You can just start creating your tasks in any Slack channel that you're working in, assign them to your coworkers, and Chaser does the rest. It follows up automatically. It builds you guys status reports. It gives you a dashboard so you can see everything that you're waiting on from other people, everything that's assigned to you in one place. And the most powerful part about it is that your coworkers won't even realize they're using another project management tool. It's just part of Slack. It's just an upgrade to the tool that they're already used to using. They're already checking on Slack every morning. You don't have to convince people to create a new habit because Chaser fits into the habits they already have.
What are the steps to fix this?
Well, in the name of making things easy, all you have to do is go to www.trychaser.com and you can get started instantly. It's actually sets you up with a free trial for 14 days. Um, and right away, you can just start adding tasks, assign them to coworkers, assign them to yourself. You pick any channels you want to work in, and it'll actually explain itself to your coworkers. It teaches them how to use it. And all you got to do is put in the tasks, and then Chaser does the rest.
Go see the demo that Josh has done. He has a little video which shows you how it works. It's really so simple that you can watch a few minutes of it and say, okay, I could do this right away. And my team could watch this and do this right away. In every marketing engine that I've been working in every organization, this has been a problem.
What I've realized in talking to so many marketing teams is marketing teams are in the middle of so many different teams at a company, and they tend to suffer maybe even the most of any team on just getting bombarded with requests across the org, and nobody, it's it's tough to get everybody to all follow some sort of process, but everybody uses Slack, and so having a solution that works inside of Slack can really help a marketing team that finds themselves stuck between the different processes that lots of different teams they're working with are kind of imposing on them.
Absolutely. Excellent. Go out there, check it out, trychaser.com.